I'm back with some more Bannerlord, and it's been a while. I haven't looked at a different mod for quite some time. We used to do it all the time, but I've been caught up doing my bandit playthrough, my modded playthrough. We haven't done a mod spotlight video. I found this mod I quite like the look of. I thought it was a fun little mod, added some stuff. It's called Major Roy's Weapon Collection. What the mod does is it adds about 10 or so unique weapons to the game that have all been custom created and modeled by the creator, and I thought some of them looked pretty cool and I wanted to check it out. So let's jump in and take a look at the weapons. So I've gone through all the items in the game and pulled out the weapons that the mod adds. You know the grain? Grain is not a weapon. Grain is a food. Unless you beat someone with a bag of grain, I imagine it could be semi-effective. Unless they got a sword and, well, yeah, maybe it's not the best idea. If we take a look at some of these weapons, we'll start off with, you have a Dragonglass axe. This is modeled after the axe that the Hound uses in Game of Thrones. And I thought this was pretty cool. What I'll do is, once we've gone through some of these weapons, I'll jump in a battle just so we can get a closer look at some of them. But you can see the design of it, it's pretty cool. Here we got the bearded Dragonheart axe. Again, you can see the texture on the actual axe. Like, they're modeled pretty well, and the minor details, like the engraving in the weapons and stuff, looks pretty cool. Even the handle is like nicely detailed. We have a heavy Morningstar. Oof. That is going to cave a helmet or two in. Damn, man. Someone bonks you on the head with one of them, that spike's going straight through your helmet. So here we have a German Warpick. So there's two variations of this weapon. You can see it's like a small hammer. Well, a small pick. But it's the detail going into some of these, like the little hand actually holding the pick. And like how well some of these weapons are modeled. But this one is the inverted one. So there's two versions. So you have one where you swing with like the hammerhead, sort of like the pick head. And then you have the other where you swing with the actual pick. You can see damage-wise, they are both the exact same. The difference being, the one that uses the sharp pick end does piercing damage. The one that uses the blunt, like head of the pick, does blunt damage. So that's for stabbing your enemies, giving them a quick impale. This is for bonking them on the head. You want to take a prisoner? Use the bonk. You want to kill your enemies? Use the pick. Next up, we got the Horseman's Warhammer. This is a mini one-handed Warhammer, similar to the German pick. The different design on it. My claws weren't clipping. Take these. There we go. But as you can see again, it's like the minor detail, like what looks to be like scratches and a bit worn on the handle. You know, it's just minor stuff like that that I really enjoy about Bannerlord, because I loved Warband's mods and stuff. But because of the outdated textures and stuff, didn't get that detail, that really good detail. But like with Bannerlord, get that really good, like minor details, the engravings, the scratches, and it looks really good. Next up, we have a Gothic Warhammer. So originally this mod started out as a Warhammer mod, and there was about 4 or 5 Warhammers. But the creator's gone on now and he renamed the mod to Major Roy's Weapon Collection because there's probably more non-Warhammers now than there was Warhammers. So it seemed a bit odd keeping the mod named as Warhammer. But you can see the Gothic one, pretty well designed. The handle Handle looks like it's a steel rod. Like some sort of like fence post, like steel rod. Next up, we have this bad boy. You have the Baratheon Warhammer. A size on this. I mean, damn, man. You are going to cave in a chest plate or two. 300 blunt damage. I love the 17 PS as if, like, you know, you're just going to give them a little thrust with the point. Thrust with the point, knock them backwards, swing sideways, take their head off. Damn, man. But you can see again, like, the engraving in the actual head of the Warhammer. It's just details like that. Looks like maybe a little bit of rust around the edges, some scratches. Pretty cool. Now we have the Bec-de-corbin. Oh no, sounds a bit French, European. Could be French, could be completely made up. Who knows? But this is it's another Warhammer, similar to like the Horseman's Warhammer and stuff. But this one is actually a lot longer. This would be like a two-handed sort of pole army sort of thing. You can thrust with it, or you can swing it bluntly. You got the head with the 4 prongs, pretty cool. And then we got the Fantasy Warhammer. Another two-handed spike on top, so I'm assuming, yep, you can thrust and swing with this one. So, give them a quick jab with the point on top, or give them a bonk with the Warhammer head. Again, another nicely designed weapon. And we have the Gada club. What is that? I mean, damn. The handle looks like it's some sort of like fancy torch or something, you know, like this is the head where the flame would come out of. Nice fancy looking torch. And then you got this big metal ball on top, and I mean, 230 blunt damage, two-handed. Smack someone on the head with that, and you'll turn them into Stewie Griffin. Yeah, man, you'd crush their forehead clean. And then we have the Shinobi Hunter Spear. This one we will have to check in game. It's a bit too big. But the head of the spear, I saw a picture of it, and the head of the spear looked pretty cool. So first up, we got the Shinobi Spear, and as you can see, that's what I meant by head of the spear. You can see the engravings in the head of the spear is pretty well designed. You have this like possibly dragon, possibly snake, like curled around the top of the spear, which I thought is another nice touch. Pretty cool design. Even just as simple as the handle, like the wraps around the handles. Pretty cool. Next up, we have the Dragonglass axe. Again, pretty cool design, the handle and everything. It's the minor details where it's like you can see the dents, the indents, the markings on the handles and stuff. The Dragonglass pretty much textured to how it was in the show. And then you got like the metal bolted onto it. Pretty cool. The next up is the Bearded-Axe. This was the one-handed axe. Again, handle really well designed. The head, you have a nice engraving in it. You got some scratches in the head, like some chips and stuff to show it's worn out. And then lastly, you got the heavy Morningstar. And again, it's like all weapons. The scratches on it. It's just a well-modeled weapon. So this time we're taking a look at the this is the German Warpick. This is the one where you use the pointy end. And you can see again, it's the markings on the actual weapon. The hand is pretty cool designed. There's a slight issue on the hand. I can't quite tell. Maybe it's part of the design. Hand looks slightly bigger than the handle, so it looks like it's poking out a little bit. That may not be as designed. It's just the detail of the actual weapon. Pretty cool weapon. And then here we got the inverted version where you use the blunt end. And basically, it's funny to think it's just the weapon that's just been flipped around. It is literally just the weapon that has been turned around. But to think the limitations of the game that, like, you have to create an entirely new weapon, have an inverted variation. Well, you can see from this side, it's pretty much the same as the other side. We have this this writing engraved through the entire handle. Not too sure what it is. So this was the Gothic Warhammer, the one where I said the handle looks like a fence post or something, or like a steel fence. It looks like with this weapon, it looks like you used the pointy end rather than the blunt end, so it's probably pierce damage, not blunt damage. Is that a gap? Do we have a levitating Warhammer head? Oh man. But again, the design is pretty cool. And then here we have another one of the Warhammers. I can't remember if this was the Horseman's one, or if this was the Bec-de-corbin. Can't remember. But again, it's pretty cool designed. There's the minor details like the scratches in the wood, the indentation, markings. It's a pretty well designed weapon. So the final four weapons we're going to take a look at. This is the Baratheon hammer. The big, huge, two-handed. You see the engraving in the weapon. We have this one, I believe, is the Bec-de-corbin, and I think the other one I showed was the Horseman's one. But you can see design in the handle. It looks like it's connected on rather than one big piece of wood, which is pretty cool. The head has some pretty good engraving details in it. Have that's some kind of bird logo, some kind of eagle or something. Like the scratches and the dents and stuff in the actual metal. Pretty cool. This was the like Norse fantasy one. You see kind of like Norse markings in the head of the hammer. Makes it kind of look like a dwarven sort of thing. And then finally, we have the Gada or the Gada club. It was basically a big ball on a stick. Oh man. God help whoever gets hit in the head with one of them. Oh. Was it expected to be a bit longer, maybe? Who knows? But again, nicely done engravings and stuff. Get off this. And bonk. So they're the different weapons that this mod adds. This mod, it's a fun mod and it adds some unique weapons. I feel like it might be one of those ones that if you're doing a multi-modded playthrough, it might be nice to slip in just to have some custom ones. Because on its own, it does just add like 12 weapons. But if it's tucked in with some other mods, it's pretty fun, and I recommend giving it a go. Also, if you want any of the weapons in game, because I use the cheat menu to spawn all these in, you can actually go to a smithy in a town and craft some of these. So if we go to a town quickly, just to finish up. So I believe this has been fixed in 1.6.1. I'm still using 1.5.9 because of my playthroughs, and I don't really want to update and have to go back all the time. But yeah, you can see these strings. If you click on one of them, like this is the Dragonheart axe. But you can see you can craft the weapons, and that's how you get them in game. But That's it for this quick mod spotlight video. This is just highlighting Major Roy's weapons mod. As always, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe, and until next time, see ya!